Hello everyone, and welcome to those of you joining us to find out what's going on in the housing market at the moment. Today we will be discussing stamp duty, those elusive 95% mortgages, and giving you some top tips if you are looking to move house at the moment. And who better to discuss these hot topics with than local property expert Alec Linsley, owner of Elopa estate agents in the North East and qualified mortgage advisor. So Al, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks, Corryn. Looking forward to it.
And just to start then, many of us will recall in the government's response to the coronavirus pandemic in 2020, the introduction of a stamp duty holiday last year. Can you remind us what's happening with that and when is it due to end?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Chancellor announced to try and help stimulate the property market that they would introduce a stamp duty relief. That was due to end on the 31st of March, whereby any property transactions that completed during that period of time, there was a 0% rate on properties up to the value of 500,000. There was a high demand, and unfortunately due to subsequent lockdowns, it meant that solicitors weren't going to be able to complete and meet the end of the deadline. So that's now being extended, which is great to hear. It means now that the threshold for the end date, is now the 1st of July for the £500,000 zero rate relief. And then he's extended even further to the 30th of September, whereby it'll still be 0% stamp duty, but it's on a cap of 250,000. So it's brilliant. It hasn't half helped keep the market going, especially on the higher value stock. Brilliant,
yeah. And have you seen a particular uptake in the North East as a result of this then?
Yeah. I mean, definitely on your higher, your higher value, and particularly your new build sites have done really well. They've lost the advantage of Help to Buy since the 31st of March, but it hasn't slowed down in any way, shape or form from a mortgage point of view. We're still arranging a large amount of high value mortgages, and that's all because the people are just trying to get in there and beat the deadline. The savings are quite significant, and certainly it seems apparent in the marketplace anyway that they're not slowing down at all.
Absolutely. And then to add to that, in March in the budget this year, it was announced that 95% mortgages would enter the market as well. So what's happening there?
Yeah, so the government, in their wisdom, came out and announced that they were going to back a small amount of lenders and give them a mortgage guarantee product. The product's not new in the sense it was here a number of years ago for a period of 2 or 3 years, and they've just reinvented it basically. So there's 5 lenders at the moment who have access to that particular product, and it has to be a 5-year fixed deal. But basically, if you've got a 5% deposit, you can use that deposit to buy any type of property, whether you're a first-time buyer or a next-time buyer, it doesn't matter. And whether you want to buy a new property or a second-hand property, the government have basically said they'll guarantee any potential chance of default should the person that the mortgage company lend the money to are unable to meet the repayments of the mortgage.
Brilliant. So that's really helping those people who are looking either to enter the housing market for the first time, or perhaps those that don't have a huge amount of equity looking to move on as well. So it's a really positive move, isn't it?
It is, and it's and I think one of the best thing that's come about of it is other lenders who weren't on the government deal have actually just brought their own 5% products out. What it probably, to me anyway, would suggest is they expect a long period of housing growth, because they don't see the risk potentially as high as what it would have been maybe 6 months ago when it was a little bit more unknown. I think the stamp duty holiday and the introduction of the 5% mortgage guarantee scheme means that we're probably going to see a sustained level of housing growth, which is great for people who are on the ladder, who are already on the ladder. Those who are trying to get on, well, you only need 5% now to get onto it, so it can only be positive for the market.
Brilliant. And in terms of the government-backed mortgages, who are the lenders who are involved?
Yeah, so at the moment, as of yesterday anyway, we've got Santander, Barclays, Lloyds, HSBC, and NatWest. They're all offering 5% mortgage guarantee deals. However, you've still got the likes of Accord, Metro Bank, Leeds Building Society, Skipton Building Society, among others, who are also offering 95% deals for for first-time buyers.
Brilliant. And of course, the more lenders out there who are in the market, the more competitive it is in terms of being able to get the right deal and the right rate.
Absolutely. And fees and rates are obviously, you know, when you're one or two lenders are in the market, they've kind of got a little bit of a niche, and it, you know, it sometimes does drive the rate and the fee structure up. However, the more competition there is for 95% business is driving the price down, which can only be good for the public. Absolutely.
And given your experience as an owner of an estate agent, obviously lots of buying and selling transactions have been going through your business. What would your top tip be for someone who is looking to buy a house at the moment?
Be quick. That would be my top tip at the moment. The you know, research is always key. You know, if you're looking to buy, you're getting on the ladder first of all, speak to the financial advisor, mortgage broker. A lot of the companies, certainly around the northeast, they do have a hand-holding process. They'll talk you through it, how to put an offer in, you know, what type of properties to view, make sure you can afford the property that you're looking for. So it's always best to get that sound advice initially. Then after that, just, you know, once you know your budget, make sure you try and stick to it. It's so easy to get caught up in the emotion of seeing a house and it's, oh, I really want it and it's everything I need, so I'm going to pay more than I can afford, and you know, you just end up in a little bit of a downward spiral. So make sure you do your research. The house is worth what you want to pay for it, but then try and set yourself a cap at what you go to. Unfortunately, in this day and age, the properties are few and far between. As soon as they come on the market, they're getting lots of attention and attraction from viewers, which is again driving price up. A lot of properties are selling over market value, but you've just got to stick to your guns and make sure you put in what you're thinking it's worth, not necessarily what the vendor thinks it is. And that's pretty much the best way to go about that.
And what about if you're on the other side and you're trying to sell?
Get it done quick.
Simple.
You know, if you're looking to sell a property at the moment, you're not going to get a better time. Your markets are on the increase. We are selling properties over the initial market value. You know, and you've got lots of people looking to buy. You know, as a brokerage, we have maybe 12, 15 inquiries a week for people looking to get agreement principles to see if they can get a mortgage. But a lot of those are then having to get to the queue to the estate agents to see if there's any properties available. So, you know, it's not unusual now at the moment. If you've got a 3-bedroom semi on the market, we'll get 12 to 14 people requesting to view that as soon as it comes on. And then, you know, if you're in competition to buy that, it's brilliant from a vendor's point of view, because the more people who view it, the more people who bid, again, it's just going to drive price up, and it's quite a comfortable place to be if you're a vendor at the moment.
Excellent, brilliant, and should remain that way hopefully until end of September. With
certainly from a stamp duty point of view, definitely. But I mean, the mortgage guarantee scheme, that they've intimated that'll be here for another couple of years, and you know, as long as that's there and people can buy property with limited deposit, it only bodes well for certainly for the second-hand market. And from a new build point of view, you still have Help to Buy, but they have restricted the value on Help to Buy at the moment in the northeast. So you know, you're going to see lots of people looking to get on the ladder with a 5% deposit, which is just great for the property market of the northeast.
So it's all looking really positive, isn't it?
Really rosy.
And on that note, thank you very much for joining me this morning. Really interesting, valuable insight. And thank you to all of you for joining us as well. And we shall see you again very soon.